Hey everyone, welcome back, and if you are new to my channel, welcome. I am Corey. So for those of you who have been following my channel, you know that I am starting a hair series, and I've been getting input from all of you guys about which colors and brands of pencil. Because my hair series, I plan to do something a little different. I am going to not just show you like one red in a certain brand. I am going to take requests. I've got quite a few already, but the most popular was red. So initially I was going to start this picture. This is from Mariola Budek's Romantic Hair Inspirations. I don't think there's an actual name for the girls that are in that book other than it's just the hair inspirations. So I had picked this one as part of my May What's in the Bag, and I was going to color the hair red, and then I thought, you know what, I might as well just color the whole thing on camera, and it'll be part of the series, but also you guys can see everything else I color. So this is very nerve-wracking, not for the hair part, but that's because today we are going to color her skin first, and I do not do well with skin and colored pencils. I usually default back to my pan pastels, but I promised myself this month that I would branch out and try something new. So since I have selected Polychromos for the hair, because that was one of the most popular requests, along with the color red for hair, I decided I'll do the skin in Polychromos, so this whole picture will be in polys. And so this will be interesting, guys, because I don't normally do skin in pencil and definitely don't do it in polys. So we're going to learn together. I do have a couple colors I picked out that looked skin tony-ish. We'll see how they work. If you follow me on Instagram, I actually posted a little while back, share your skin tone combinations from any brand. So if you do follow me or you don't, go ahead and find that post, and if you have a combo, share away. I'm literally winging it on skin tone right now, so let's see how this goes. So I have Burnt Ochre 187, Terracotta 186, Sanguine 188, Cinnamon 189, Light Flesh 132, and Ivory 103. Now I know they're changing the names of Polychromos. Ugh, so not cool to do. Because back in the day they already did a name change and now they're doing it again. I'm hoping they'll keep the number so that at least all I have to worry about is this number here. But I'm going to start with my Burnt Ochre, and we'll see how this turns out. So I do want her to have kind of a fair complexion, so I don't know how much of these dark colors I'm going to really use. I did kind of ignore my messy swatch page here. It was sitting under a marker page, but this is the red hair color that we'll be doing. Right now it looks extra toothy. These are my scratch papers. So they're very toothy paper that I don't usually work on, but I wanted to do like a dark red. So I wanted her skin tone to be a little lighter. So we'll see how these colors work out. If I end up using all of them, I might not use this terracotta. We'll see, because it's a little too red and I don't want her to like come off super red skinned. But let's start with our Burnt Ochre 187. I'm just going to go in here. I'm a dark to light type of gal. I need to do my contours first. Let's see, along the hairline. Looks like our hair goes to here. I had originally started this video with my pan pastels, and then I was like, nope, you know what? I'm going to practice using my Polychromos and face my fears, if you will, and see how it goes. So this is already round 2. Just want that in there shaded because of her hair. Now skin always looks funky when it's done before the hair, and vice versa. I mean, depending on the hair color you pick, they can look really creepy until you get that hair done. I'm just adding this lightly, very lightly, just so that I don't have to erase. I do use a much smoother cardstock, so FYI there. Now, when you're following me for my hair series, please keep that in mind. If you're using a toothier cardstock, that is going to change your outcome a little. You'll just need to, like my sample paper I showed you there, that is a very toothy one, and so it's not as smooth. You'll just have to be a little more diligent with your layers. Definitely want that shaded in there. We'll have to turn this. Just want a little shadow under here. Okay. Get the curl of her lip. Sorry if you hear the dog barking next door. They're riding horses across the street. It's not my dog. She's laying here not giving a crap, but huskies aren't barkers. I mean, they'll bark to talk to you, but they don't just bark because you're walking by. It's kind of funny. Whereas, you know, other breeds will bark or yap the second anyone walks by. Huskies don't do that. She only barks if she's trying to talk to you. So it's nice because anytime I hear a dog barking, I'm like, I know that's not mine. And half the time when she wants my attention, she's howling, so I very lightly pull that out a little, not too much. I am using a lot of the grayscale that Mariola has put down for us, but I'll go in and add some of my own as well. Like I said, I'm so new to Polychromos and skin. This is going to be interesting. We'll see how it goes. I usually will try Lumis for skin. But yeah, most of the time I do pan pastels. All right, let's grab this Terracotta. Just very lightly put that. I'm kind of layering it on top of the burnt ochre and then bringing it out a smidgy, but light pressure again. I'm not doing heavy because I'm not very confident in my color yet. So if you're ever like unsure about a color choice, go light pressure because it's easier to erase and easier to cover up. But if you're like downright sure on the color, then you can go heavy if you want. But yeah, for this one, I'm kind of like, no. Let's get this going. But yeah, so Faber-Castell is changing the name of Polychromos. Why? I don't know. I'm really irked about it. The changes they made back in the day weren't big. Like if you buy the Albrecht Dürers, you'll notice a few differentiating things. But they're doing like a huge name swap, and a lot of the colors are similar to Prismacolor names. I don't know if anyone caught on to that. But you know, I like the fun and funky names of Polychromos. Like, yeah, some of these names are ridiculous to say, and I don't say them correctly, but I really like them. They're quirky, they have personality, and they're changing them to like really lame names. I think one of them I saw was like apple green, or May green was turning to apple green. Why? May green is such a cute name and so much more accurate. I don't know. Yeah, I guess it's sort of apple-ish too, but yeah, I don't get why they're doing this. And honestly, I was kind of so flustered about it. I didn't even really look at all the name changes, but there's a whole list. Like, they're not changing just 2 or 3 pencils. They're changing a lot. So I am hoping the names stay the same. Otherwise, that's just not cool. All right, we're gonna skip the terracotta for a minute because I want to add that if I feel it necessary. So grab cinnamon 189. Hopefully it will be also 189 in the future. Oops. This is just a nice dark pinkish color. This one would actually be better as a blush, I'm thinking. So I might add it. By all means, you do not have to copy how I do pencil skin work. You can do your own thing. Catch up with me on hair day. This is just how I do pencil skin work. Maybe I should grab my buff titanium, the magical pencil that it is. Okay. Grab your light flesh 132. Leave a highlight there. So yeah, I'm really hoping the names stay the same. Or not the names, the numbers, sorry. If they change the numbers, I'm going to be really screwed trying to figure out what is what, and then I'll have to go print out that conversion list. I saw it on social media the other day and I was like, oh, I don't need that. They'll probably keep the numbers the same because why would they change that? And then I stopped and thought about it and I was like, oh shoot, what if they do change that? Like, that could really throw a lot of us off. So yeah, I may have to go find that list and see what's up. So I'm doing a lot more filling in with this color, but I'm not pressing heavy. Still using light pressure, and that's why I'm holding it way back here, because I'm naturally heavy-handed and I want to avoid anything heavy-handed here. Bringing that up. Again, just keeping very light pressure because that way I can erase it if I feel necessary. Nothing worse than putting down a heavy layer and then having to go erase it. If it's a PDF, I don't bother. I'm gonna grab. Let's go ahead and grab our Ivory 103. Just kind of want to layer this one down. I almost feel like I feel like I'm missing that beige color from Prismacolors. Sorry if you hear any background noise. I told the kids I was recording, but that only seems to mean so much. And then you might hear the neighbors because I have the windows open, but it's such a pretty day out. I wanted to soak up all that fresh air. I'm just laying this down to see how it looks. Definitely need to add more of my light flesh. I might even grab my Prisma white, actually. That would be really good for highlighting. Not looking too bad. Let's go back to our burnt ochre 187. I want to get in there a little. Layer that one in, define that. It's hard because I have like these strands of hair right up in my way. Okay. Yeah, I definitely think I'll skip the terracotta. I'll use it in her lips though, maybe that would be good. Okay, and then let's grab cinnamon. Just gonna add that to her cheeks a little more. I'm gonna take terracotta. Oh, so what was the color I was skipping? It was sanguine that I'm skipping, not terracotta. Because sanguine is a little too red. Like I said, I don't want her to be super reddish. I definitely want her to have pale skin. I just don't want her to be like red skinned. Light flesh. Going over a lot of where I put down that ivory and just adding some color here. Still using light pressure and lots of circles. Make the transition line from her contour to her jaw not so harsh. And I want to bring some color here. Hardest part for me is I've done a lot of portrait work like face on, but off to the side not as much, like a side view. Definitely want to darken it around here because her eye is obviously indented right there. Not looking too bad. I feel it's a little dark up here though. I wonder, let me grab my swatches. This is Color with Claire's like color family chart. Super helpful. Love it. I need like a beigey color. You know what I'm talking about, like that beige color that you get with Prismacolors. And there's just not a very good, oops, sorry. Let me smack the camera for you guys. I wonder if I brought in some light yellow ochre. Let me see, light yellow ochre up in there. Actually, you know what? That might help offset. Yeah, let's try it. So 183. Here is, yep. Light yellow ochre, just gotta sharpen it. Okay. Yeah, let's try some light yellow ochre in here. That's 183. So our skin, if you ever look at a really complicated skin combo, you'll notice there's like a yellow and often like a violet. Our skin actually has like yellow and purple undertones. And we don't really think about it until you're learning to color skin. But it's actually pretty interesting. Add that in there lightly. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, that's definitely offsetting some of that pink. I didn't want her to be super pink because her hair is going to be really red. Like I'm doing a nice fiery, I wouldn't say fiery because it's dark, but it's going to be a lot of red to soak up in there. So I really wanted to avoid her skin being too pink. Okay, I'm digging that. Digging. Okay. Yellow, I think, is perfect. All right, so now I'll go back to my light flesh. Just cover. I'm layering a little over that yellow because you don't want that yellow to stand out too much. Like I said, I feel like I'm just missing that beige color that I often use with Prismacolor. And Ivory. One thing with Polychromos is they can just layer and layer and layer. And 5 years later, and I'm not honestly the layering type, but I've come to accept that with portraits you kind of have to give some layers in there. Okay. Grab my light flesh again. Wonder if my Caran d'Ache blender would be good on this. So Ivory. Okay. Let's leave it alone for a minute. Excuse my loud squeaky chair. Okay. Let's do the rest of her real quick. Burnt ochre. This is just for those darker areas. They're definitely gonna have a shadow, like, and then up here in her collarbone. Because when you're nice and skinny and pretty, your collarbone actually shows. Mine doesn't right now. Gotta lose that COVID 30 something. And maybe I'll have a collarbone again. Well, I have one, it's just not as, I don't have a big old definition line from it. Okay. Let's see, go to Terracotta. Again, we're just light pressure. I have the world's worst thumb cramp. It's from my mouse, holding my mouse for work. It's like actually affecting my coloring. I have to hold my pencils in an awkward fashion because if I hold them like I normally would, my thumb starts cramping up on me. It's like actually painful. It shoots right through there. Okay. Let's grab our cinnamon. Some of these hair inspiration pages have like no like skin. So, but I wanted to like do full portraits because that was one of my goals in May, was to just do more portraits. So that's why I tried to pick ones where you had a lot more face to work with. Because for this very reason, like I need to practice using pencils on skin. Let's grab our light flesh. Had thought about doing a marker base first, but I'm still practicing that. It does save you a lot of time though, I'm not gonna lie. Grab Ivory. Still debating if I want to use the Caran d'Ache Colorless Blender, which is my favorite blender of all times, or break out my Buff Titanium. Buff Titanium is from Caran d'Ache, but it is a wax pencil. Still works really well with the Polychromos though. Don't let anyone fool you. But it is an awesome color for blending. It's like a magical pencil. But also, I could break out my Prisma White. I don't know. I mean, I could keep sitting here and layering and layering. But do we have time for that? There's two ways to go about it. You layer and layer till you get there, or you find a good blending technique. Or you do a little mixture of both, because I am layering a lot, but because I'm just trying to get the skin where I want it to be. It's one of those things where you'll keep playing with it for hours. I do it with pen pastels. I especially do it with hair. I'll be like, oh, I'm done with hair, and then never mind. All right, let's take Sanguine. I'll put a teensy. Get her lips. angle really hurts the finger. Sorry, I'm gonna have to keep turning her. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't put this color on her skin. She would have just been too red, but for her lips, this could be the perfect color. All right, then grab cinnamon. Our light flesh, I think that's what it's called. Only pulled it out like 5 times now. So near the top, I tend to, like with the lips, make lines with my lighter color. Because if you ever look at your lips aren't just one flawless color, unless you're wearing lipstick, of course, but even then there's indentations in your lips. Grab your ivory. Back to my light flesh. I want to make sure it's pink up here. I'm using kind of a medium pressure on the lips because I'm a little more confident on the mouth. And I do want to darken. So Sanguine. Do you want to darken in here a little? Isn't that crazy how many layers you can just keep going? I remember one time I was coloring a picture and I spent like an hour on lips. I looked at the clock and I'm like, oh, did I seriously just do that? All right, cinnamon. And it was with Prismacolors, but I kept going back and forth and adding more and until it was just right. And then I look up at the clock and I was like, I have seriously spent an hour coloring lips. I'm not going to do that today, but it's because I was just trying to get the sheen just right. And and then light flesh, just kind of fill that in a little. And we'll call her lips done for now. All right, her skin, I'm actually okay with. I just think I need something. I need to blend it out. That's what it needs. So I need to decide what blender I'm going to use to smooth this all out, and then I think we'll be able to move on from there. Okay guys, I have decided I will be using the Caran d'Ache colorless blender, the full colorless blender. It's the only one from Caran d'Ache, I think. But what I'm going to do though is I'm not going to blend it out yet because I may add some more color after we get her hair done, and I would hate for that to like be set, because once you use this full blender, it's pretty much your done deal. You can't add on top of it. So we're just going to add a little bit more pigment to her skin, and then we will call this video good. And on the next one, we will tackle her hair, and then I'll leave the dress and background for after that. So let's take our cinnamon 189. And I just wanted to add a little more depth to her eyes. But like I said, once we add the hair, then I can come back and like maybe add a little more pink if I feel she needs more pink in some areas. You know, lighten things, darken things. I just don't want to set it and then be like, oh darn, I'm stuck with that color now. I definitely wanted to get more cinnamon around here. Okay, and then let's grab the Terracotta. And I'm just using light pressure. Kind of adding a few more shadows and layers. Polychromos, the layering pencil. I mean, technically you can turn any pencil into a layering pencil, but they are pretty well known for their layer ability. That's a term. Just want to make sure it's a little darker in here. Okay, grab a light flesh. I think cinnamon is medium flesh, or used to be called medium flesh, isn't it? I swear it is. I'm gonna have to look that up now. But I don't know if it'll necessarily matter because maybe they're gonna change the names of those ones. I haven't looked to see if the like the flesh ones were being changed over. So I'm gonna go back with my oops, that's Sanguine. Don't want that one. Back with my Terracotta. And let's see, actually, you know what? Grab dark sepia. Okay, so with the dark sepia, we're gonna go in and add a little bit more shadow here. Very lightly though. Same with her nose. I do want to get, oops, that one. I have to go back in and fix that one. It slipped away from me. Just want to get the extra dark areas defined a little better. Then I'll go over them. Now sepia is really dark, so just use very, very light pressure as you put that in. And it's going to look really dark right now because there's no hair up against it, but once the hair is done, you'll see it flatten out. It's just a matter of adding some color. Now if I was keeping her hair like a gray-white color, I probably would not be taking sepia. It'd be a little too dark. Okay, I'm gonna grab my Ivory and put back on her nose there. Actually, I'm gonna need my light flesh first. Then just grab some burnt ochre and really lightly just go over your sepia. Kind of blend it out a little. on this contour. Okay, and then just grab the Ivory again. I'm just gonna go over everything. Don't use heavy pressure though, because we don't want to burnish anything. Just kind of softening it all out. And the Caran d'Ache Full Blender actually kind of adds like a milky tone to everything once you use it. So you want to keep that in mind too. It's one of my favorite blenders though. Okay. So I think her skin is pretty good for now. What I would like to do is in the next video we'll tackle her hair. And then like I said, once the hair is done, then we'll use our full blender and kind of like buff out the skin. I just don't want to burnish the page with that blender and then realize I wanted, you know, to add more pink to her cheeks or just anything like that. So, but this is what we've got so far. And then on the next part, we will be tackling her red hair, and I have a ton of red pencils. But like I said, I'm gonna do a very like dark, sultry red. I'm going for this kind right here. So it won't be the red hair with like the orange undertones. I will do that as well in a different video. I just felt like doing something really dark and almost like that deep red of Melisandre from, you know, Game of Thrones, where it was just like really red and no orange at all. That type of hair. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you on the next video.